So get yourselves comfy. You can lie down, you can sit up, you can support yourself any way that you want to. So whatever mood you're in today, bring yourself to that comfy position. Have that little wiggle around. And then find your way into somewhere still. Start to connect to your breath. And however busy or fast paced your thoughts are, take your time to slow that breath down. Sometimes we want the breath to be quiet and gentle, and sometimes we need that little extra depth and effort to bring our thoughts under control a little bit. So take your time to find a breath that works for you today. And just taking the time to release those places that are maybe chronically a little tense or a little active. And then if you're comfortable, wherever you are, whether you're seated or whether you're laying down, just start to extend your legs out. Just straighten them out along the floor. So it'll be Dandasana if you're sitting up. It'll be just big, long, outstretched if you're laying down. So just, can you hear me, Julie? Okay, hold on. You guys carry on stretching out those legs. Julie, is that better? Unmute yourself and then I can hear what you're saying.
Sorry, I can hear you okay, but the sound's really poor. It's not like it normally
Okay.
is.
All right.
It's really, I don't know if it's just me or if anyone else
Right.
is.
Let me fiddle.
It's better now. I mean, it's louder, but it was
okay. It's probably
it was really it was super powerful.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me. I'll tell you what. I'll switch thingies. I'll switch.
Yeah, it's okay. It's about.
Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Give me a sec. You just stretch out, stretch out, stretch out.
Yeah.
I'll put this one in.
Switch mics, how's that? Better? Yeah, okay, good, good. I'm having a technological nightmare today. Okay, so let me just mute Julie again. Right, okay, stretching out. Yeah, it's the longest stretch you've ever done. If you're sitting, you're looking like this, good. And then relax. So you guys that are on the floor, you can stay on the floor and just be like, yeah, I'm going to wait for the seated crew. If you've got a brick, you're going to use a brick. If you don't have a brick, it's fine. You can do this a little bit wonky. You'll see what I mean. So if you're seated, you're going to bring yourself down and you're going to set whichever foot is your favorite foot on the top of a brick. And I don't know if you have a favorite foot. So your feet are kind of bridge-ish, bridge-ish distance. Try and say that with your mouth full, from your body, so that the foot that's on the brick, that knee will be a little higher. And Lisa, these are fine for you to do if you're happy to. I want you to connect with both feet and start to pelvic tilt. So just tucking and untucking the pelvis. And then you can stay with that, or you can peel up into this wonky bridge. We did similar to the wall the other day, but I want you to keep your hip bones the same height in your wonky bridge. So you can do a couple of rounds of this bridge just while you connect, or you might want to choose to keep up in that bridge and just stay there. So I'm going to do a few little peel ups and peel downs. And just, it should be that there's a little more effort, a little more contraction with your block leg that's in touch with your bridge. So when you've done maybe 3 of those or held that longer one, we're going to scooch over and change feet. So you can just slide that brick along. If you don't have a brick, don't worry, just do a normal bridge. And I want you to think about if your pelvis was, I've forgotten what it's called. I think it's the bucket of the digger. Do you know the thing I mean? The thing that does the digging. Think about really scooping and tucking, like you want to gather up some, I don't know, whatever it is you're digging up, some sand or some mud, and then sort of lift from there. So you're not going to spill your bucket. It's probably not called a bucket, but that's the only thing I could think of. Yeah, so your pelvis scoops, lifts up your stuff as you push down into your brick foot, or both feet if you don't have a brick. So 3 slow bridges with a little hold at the top, or just one big old long bridge. Good. And then try not to spill your contents of your digger as you peel the spine back down again, and only when you land the top of the sacrum can you spill your digger contents. Then take that brick, and if you don't have a brick, you can grab a cushion, you can grab something else. And I want you to bring that brick and place it between your thighs. You can pick the thinnest setting or the medium setting, and one will feel more comfortable, just turning it on its side or having it on that skinny edge. And find that little squeeze. And again, find those little digger scoops as you just tuck your pelvis. And I want you to either just stay with the scoops and the pelvis tucks, squeezing your brick, or see if you can maintain that scooping pelvis as you squeeze your brick and lift your hips up. So it won't be as high as a normal bridge because we're squeezing onto that brick. And again, we might do 3 of these so you can peel down and peel up, and you can explore maybe changing the width of that brick and seeing which one you prefer. So there's a point as you lift up where your knees want to flare apart, where your thigh bones externally rotate. The brick is forcing us to keep them in that neutral position, which is a little more effort for the legs. So 3 of those, taking your time. And again, if you're changing brick size, cool, that's fine. It's just to explore which one is better for you. So probably the narrower the brick, the harder this movement will be. Good work. So 3 of those. And then when you've done that, you can take that brick out and just scooch yourself over to roll on your side. Just be on whichever side is easiest. We'll do both sides, obviously. So Lisa, I want you to grab a pillow, some support, pop it underneath your bump. And you can do whatever you want to with your head in your hands here. It can be like this, Kate Winslet in Titanic, or it can be like this, lying down on the floor. So I'm just going to grab my block. So just prop yourself up, and if there's a little bump in the way, prop something underneath that bump there. Okay, so we're going to just think about this top leg for a moment. So this is my bump support, by the way. It's my a lot of dinner last night. This top leg is going to lift up, and we're going to keep the knee and the heel the same height. I want you to, if you can free up that top arm, bring that top hand to the back of your pelvis. As you scooch the leg back, you'll feel when your back arches and wants to pop forward. So I want you to maintain the position of that pelvis so that you feel your bum as you go back, squeezing into that. And then as you pull forwards, you can come forward to any degree. Obviously, Lisa, your bump's going to get in the way, so you can pull it all the way into the chest. Really ground down through your bottom leg. And as you extend it back, again, like when we were squeezing the brick in our bridge, when you go back, that knee wants to lift up, yeah, or the chest wants to arch. So we want to find that true hip extension position there. As we just come forward, which will give us a bit of release. And as we go back, try and stay where you are. Next time you come back, hold the leg there and extend that knee, but you're still pulling that hip or that thigh back. Rebend the knee so you're kicking your butt, and then extend the knee. We'll do a few of these. Now, this can sometimes make your knee feel like it's working quite hard. It is. Check in that you're not arching. You should feel butt cheeky here. And really drive down through that bottom leg. That's it. One more. Hold that knee bent. If you feel safe to release the top arm, reach it back and see if you can high five your foot. Just slap that heel or something. See if you can push the hand into the foot. And if you can't, have the hand against the back of the thigh instead. So if you can reach for your fingertips to the heel or the palm to the sole, push into that, create some resistance. Good. And release, bring it forwards, take it down. And we're going to switch over to the other side. You can roll over if you don't need to see, or you can swing through seated and come round. I don't know why I brought my brick with me. I feel like I need it. So support your head or lay yourself flat, doesn't really matter. Get a good base of support from your bottom knee. When you feel good, take up that top leg. Make sure your heel's not lifting. If you can free up the hand to just sense the back of the sacrum, you'll feel that there's an arch that always wants to happen. So hip extension is quite disappointing. It's not that big. And again, when you push into that edge, that end place, that's when your knee's going to want to sort of point up towards the ceiling. So try and keep that there. Good. So keep your bottom leg grounded. Keep this hip from moving back, kicking into that extension. If someone had a little bird's eye view of you, you wouldn't be arching your back. So next time that leg is back, we're going to hold it back and we're going to pull to extend that knee straight and keep the leg where it is as we bend it back. So again, this might cause, keep going. This might cause some sensation in the knee, okay? It's not loaded, it's fine, yeah? You're not going to do your knee any damage here just by bending and straightening it. Keep that bottom leg grounded. Good. And then release that leg, bring it forwards. You guys, except Lisa, are going to roll down onto your back into that bridge pose. And Lisa, I'll show you a seated version of this. Okay, so people on your back, your hands are going to be beside your hips. My knees are not as bent as bridge. Feet are a little forwards. Sorry, I just realized you can't see this. And then what I'm going to do is push into my hands, push into my forearms, push into my elbows to lift up. At this point, I need to scooch my elbows back. I'm going to squeeze the shoulders to lift the chest up, lift, lift, lift. So keeping my head balanced, push down into the hands, keep squeezing the shoulders to lift up to here. Okay, so in order to come back, keep squeezing the shoulders, bring myself down to forearms. Hands need to slide forwards, push into the hands to roll back onto the back. Okay, so you've kind of got to assess where your hands go. Push down, hands, forearms up, slide elbows back, push into hands, squeeze the shoulders, lift up. Keep the shoulders squeezing the whole time. Lisa's version is just squeezing the shoulders in seated with your fingertips behind you, relaxing the shoulders, squeezing the shoulders in seated. Okay, just to find that. So I want you to do at least 6 of these. It's what we call the world's most awkward get up. But keep your shoulders squeezing back as you do these. Yeah, so you want to try and slow that transition down. When you first pop up onto your elbows, onto your hands, that's when you maintain the squeeze of the shoulders to lift up all the way. Good. So keep that going, at least 6. Oh, and it's okay if it's a bit one arm than the other one, that's fine. And Lisa's just like, yes, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Don't have to do anything horrible like that. Not until you've had the baby and recovered, then we'll make you join back in with the horrible. Okay, good. On your 6th one, we're going to maintain upright and we're going to stay in this little seat. Okay, and then we can make this any place. You can stop at any place you want to. So you can just pull. So I'm on my fingertips at the moment. You can pull, 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 squeeze your shoulders back. Yeah. And you can just hold this lift here. If you feel like you could support a little bit of weight on your hands here, if your wrists are happy in this extension, you're going to find the place that's best for your feet, either having them slightly forwards or slightly back. Push down into the feet and peel up. Pop those hips up. Keep the shoulders squeezing, keep the shoulders squeezing, keep the shoulders squeezing back as you land the hips down. Only when you land, you get to relax the shoulders. So we're going to do 6 of them. Popping up. Get those hip bones to push up to the ceiling. Slowly land the bum. You get to relax at the bottom. But make sure your start position is with those shoulders back. Pop up. Or just any amount. You can just squeeze and relax. You can squeeze and relax, okay? Good, 6 of them. Tingly arms is all part of this fun. That's it. The head is you're in control of the head. So if you're choosing to drop it back, that's up to you, but I want it to be a controlled part of this, okay? Good, aren't these fun? Yeah, digger hips. Scoop and lift. Yes. Wonderful. When you've done those 6, you can relax in your seat and just take that little bit of rest. And then I have one more version for you to enjoy, okay, which is the brick under the foot version. Okay, so whichever foot you pick first. Now, if you're not lifting up, you can still have, so I'll show you this foot, it's easier for you to see. You can still have your foot on the brick and work your shoulder squeeze and release by driving down into both feet. If you think, yep, I want to go and lift that, you need to work out where your hips are even at the top of that, okay? So your foot on the brick side is going to lift higher, so you need to draw those hips back to level. So let's do 3 each leg, yeah? So 6 all together. So start with whichever foot you want to. Oh, isn't it fun? You can opt to have the brick a little further away from you to make life harder, or you can keep the foot underneath the knee to make life that little bit easier. But it's going to work your knee harder if that brick is beyond that knee. It's also going to make your butt work harder. Remember the shoulder squeeze, keep that happening. 3 one side, sorry Julie, and then scooch that brick over. It doesn't need to be the same distance from you. You could have the brick further or closer towards you on that second side. So these, I've forgotten what the word is, when we work things in a wonky way. I'll think of it halfway through. Oh, Andrew will remind me. Good. Oh. Lovely. When you've done those, have a little rest, shake out those arms. It's pretty intense stuff. Okay, this is awesome work. So 2 options for this one. One is just going to add a little bit more pressure on the knee. One is going to be a little bit more comfortable on the knee. So Lisa, you're going to pick the nicer version. And really you can do this in any way you want to. You could do this in your hands and knees, or you could do this with your hands on the edge of a chair. I'm just going to hold on to the wall while I show you this. So I'm going to lift one knee up and I'm going to extend that knee back. Okay, so what I want you to think about is scooping, tucking, digging, pushing that knee back into the resistance of the dig. So hip extension is really only like an inch or 2 at most. It's quite small. If I'm doing this, it's my pelvis, yeah? So that's your choice 1. You can pick an upright holding on the seat position. You can pick a hands and knees position. Same thing, still tucking, lifting into these. Now, those of you that want to go for the full whammy, yeah? I'm going to tuck under the toes of my right knee, and I'm going to walk that right knee forwards and then shimmy, shimmy, shimmy my hips back until, hang on, if I do this leg, you'll see it a little bit better, until my heel is close to my butt. Then I'm going to walk forwards until I'm on my forearms. Okay, so this is a balancy thing. So you can see what my tucked under leg is doing. Then I'm going to extend the back knee and lift and lower that right leg. Can you see how my back's not moving at all? Wow, there is some work going on in that right leg that I'm lifting. All right, so 6 each leg of any version that your body can get into. I'm coming a little closer to see. So hang on, Kay, can you see where your bum's up in the air, right? Your leg, you need that butt down against your heel, and you need to be down on your forearms. If your butt is up, it's going to wiggle around and arch and do all sorts of things here. So if you can't get your bum to your heel, put your brick there as well, put your pillow there, but you need to connect. You need to have something to push into between butt and heel, and it'll be exceptionally frustrating to try and lift that top leg up without using your pelvis. If the leg is not lifting, but you can sense a butt contraction, yeah, you're doing it well. If you're going hoik, release, not good enough. I want you to lift it, lower it, lift it, lower it. That's it. I think we've got it. There. Good. So if your bum and heel aren't connecting, that's what your brick's for, to bring that thing there that you can press down in. Isn't that fun work? Okay, so 6 of them each side, take a rest, and then 6 more each side. Yeah, if you feel like you're wobbling and falling over, good, but you need to find the stability. So I want you to do it again, and if you want to change it, if you want to do a different variation for the second round, do a different variation. I know they're spicy nicey, aren't they? Good. You've got to get that knee straight. You've got to get that leg straight. Good. When you've done those, you can release your bricks. If you've got 2 bricks, I want them near the front edge of your mat. Taking your time, we're going to bring ourselves into downward dog when you're ready. Okay, so if you're still doing your hip extension work, carry on. But if you are happy, just bring yourself into downward facing dog and give those legs that little chance to lengthen here. So maybe knee bending and straightening. maybe pedaling out the feet, whatever is your jam. So you can opt to do a leg raise in downward dog, or you can opt to pop yourself down to hands and knees. You're going to raise that right heel behind you. Okay, so you can do a hands and knee version. You can do a downward dog version. I don't mind. As you raise that right leg behind you, allow that right hip to open. Twist it open. Lift that leg high, as high as you can. This is allowing for rotation, hip movement here, whereas before we were quite strict in the hip extension. We're going to allow for a little bit more freedom here as we sort of open that hip as high as we can. And then just rotate so that the toes point down to the floor. The leg might drop a little so that we're a little bit stricter now with the height of that leg and the position of the hip. Lift high onto your left toes and see if you can step that right foot forwards into a lunge. If you're in all fours, you can slide that leg out to the side and bring it forwards into a lunge. Just take your time to get that leg there. Good. Lisa, you can have your foot wide of your hands. Good. From your lunge, gently land your back knee down. Make it quite soft. And you have this little opportunity here. Obviously, pad your knee, pad your knee. If you're on carpet, you should be fine. I'm going to walk that knee back a little more, just back behind me, until I get that sense of that stretch that we were doing in those little leg lifts. So that thigh stretch somewhere. Good. And I want you to squeeze your bum of that left leg that's back. And think about that left hip bone as pushing forwards, like we're trying to do that digger scoop. You can stay here, or you can add in a couple of heel kicks to the bum. Nice and slow. And as you land the foot, the toes can point. As you kick your heel to your bum, your foot flexes. But try and keep that distance between your frontal hip and your heel of your right foot the same. So your leg's not lifting up away as you do these. And if you're just staying with the stretch, that's fine. You don't need to do these leg lift things. Good, let's do one more. And then when you land those toes, you're going to reach for your bricks. Sorry, land those toes. Yeah, that's right. Reach for your bricks and bring your bricks either side of that front leg. Okay. So you've still got that wide distance. You still got that wide distance. You haven't walked that back leg closer. And you're going to wiggle, 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 walk your front leg forward just as much as you can. It might go partially straight. It might go all the way straight, but you're supporting yourself with your bricks as you do this. So choices, keep the leg straight and pull the leg back if it's too much, or if you're able to keep that distance, keep that leg forward. Keep your butt cheeks squeezing and just firm up and engage that front leg. Okay, I want that front leg to be straight. So if you've narrowed the distance, if you've made it a smaller distance between knee and foot, cool. If you're happy here, then fine. And just breathe into that. And let's find that straight leg work that we've been doing. So pull the toes back towards your shin. Work into that straight front leg stretch. Now, do you remember our butt laser beam? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who could forget the butt laser beam? Shine that laser beam up towards the ceiling to increase the stretch, any degree. So you stick your butt out. If we're a digger, we've lost it. We've lost all of our contents. So when we scoop that digger forwards, scoop the pelvis forwards, we work our back leg. When we stick that butt out, we work our front leg. Good. Slide that heel back of that front leg, back into that lunge position, and just safely make your way out of this and back to your downward facing dog. Lifting that back knee, stepping back or sliding, dragging, doing whatever you need to, step it back to downward facing dog. Or if you would prefer, take a rest. Okay, from your downward facing dog, Lisa's going to take a rest, or she's going to do a cat-cow. Everyone else is going to transition onto the belly. So you can pull forwards to plank, or you can pull forwards to kneeling plank. You can knees, chest, chin, or you can chaturanga yourself all the way to the floor. So lay yourself down on your belly. Make a little pillow with your hands and rest your forehead on your pillow. Decide if you want your legs together or hip width, harder or easier. Yeah, legs together or hip width, harder or easier. You know which one is harder in your body. As you keep your head down on your hands, I want you to push your hip bones into the floor and float your legs up and down. Yeah, and we're going to do 6 of these. Lifting the legs up, pushing the hip bones down, knees stay straight and down. Good. 6 of these. Good. And then on your last one, you're going to hold the legs up, which might be 7 for some of you. Lucky you. And you can add in Shalabhasana in your upper body if you want to by gently lifting your head, your chest, and doing whatever you want with your arms. They can reach back or they can just stay hovering. Squeeze, find that hip extension work. Good. And then make sure you don't just smack your head on the floor. Bring your hands either side of the chest again. As you release down, legs come down, chest comes down. Ease your way back and up to downward facing dog, or all fours if you want to do the left leg lift. Wow, I said that right. In all fours. So set yourself up. Make sure your base is strong. When you're ready, raise that left leg up. And what we call a really naughty leg. Let it rotate, let that hip open, get that incredible sense of freedom and height in that leg. Lift it as high as you physically can. Really expansive, really glorious. This is technically what the leg does in the splits anyway. Lovely. And then turn it back down again. So as the toes point down to center, the leg will drop slightly and you'll just feel that sort of true scissoring of the legs. Any way you can and you want to, step that left foot forward into your lunge. Organize yourself so that you're able to walk that right knee back, squeeze that right butt cheek, and feel that you're working in that right leg so that you're finding that hip extension sensation that we've had. You could stay here, and if you need those bricks to be here, that's cool. And if you want to add in the squeeze of the heel to the butt, I want you to go slow, pointing the toes as you land the foot, squeezing the heel to the bum until you feel that quad stretch. So our hip bone distance from the floor stays the same. And we're doing at least 6 of these. And if you know that you don't want to do these on your knee for any reason, then just hold the stretch. Good. When you've done 6 or so of those, keep your back foot down on the floor, toes tucked or foot flat, doesn't matter. Bring your hands onto your bricks, find a little height, and you're going to find that little wiggle, wiggle walk of that front leg forward. Be mindful. If your back knee can stay where it is, it's a deeper stretch. If you need to shorten the stance of your stretch to get that front leg straight, then do so. Find that big dorsiflexion of your ankle. Pull the toes up. Strengthen and straighten that leg. And then this might be enough. This might be more than enough. Or you might want to add in your tailbone, laser beam, shining it up the wall behind you. But it's all about sensation here. It's all about what is enough. What is too much? Are you able to maintain that strength of that front leg? Breathe. Good. And then just slowly slide the foot back a little, bend the knee, come back into your lunge, and again, make your way back to downward dog. Lose your bricks, slide or step it back, pedal it out, move it out. If you want to, take a rest. If you want to, you're going to flow through that little vinyasa, coming forwards and down to your belly, and just coming straight up into your Shalabhasana. So you can reach the arms back, you can lift the arms, the legs, the chest, the head at the same time, but make sure the majority of the work comes from those legs, from that hip extension. Good. And release, take it back to dog, and then we'll all take a little rest. Okay. Have a little rest, take a little seat. I'm going to show you our next bit, but I'm just going to give Lisa her little bit first. So Lisa, you got your ball? Yeah, she's somewhere. Yep, I can see you in the corner. Okay, Lisa, what I want you to do is I want you to explore. You can hold wall, sofa, extending one leg straight and just hips rolling back, hips rolling forward. The knee will bend and straighten slightly as you just explore those leg stretches in that leg. Yeah, any angle leg is fine out to the side. You're going to do it with your toes up. And you're going to do internal rotation with your hip rolling in for a few, and then you're going to do external rotation with your toes rolling out for a few. So I just want you to go back and forth a couple of times on those to stretch those legs out. We got something a little bit more potent. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to revisit that leg lift in your downward facing dog. So it's the right leg, it's going to really open, lift and lift and lift. You're going to square that hip off. You're going to step it forwards into a high lunge. Find your bricks. Yeah. Pull that front leg straight. Lift onto your back toes. Walk the bricks forward and raise that back leg up into your standing leg split. Okay, this is going to be our little sequence. You can stay upright in your chest, or you can hinge and fold forwards into your standing leg split. Okay, then we're going to land it back to our lunge and take it back to downward dog. We're going to do a couple of these each side as a warm up for where we're going. All right, so downward dog's our starting point. Make sure your bricks or something is ready at the front of your mat. Use a chair, use whatever you got. Get into dog. It's wonderful. Think light here. Think light. You've patterned this. It's good. When you're ready, take that big, expansive lift of that right leg. Really open it up. Lift it high, twist it, open it, get that space, that joy. Oh, isn't it wonderful? Good. As you rotate it back through that neutral point, then step it, drag it, grab it, yank it, hoik it forwards into that lunge. Good. Be mindful of your back leg, that it's still acting as though it's going into hip extension as you reach for your blocks. Then pull your front leg straight. You can have your toes up or down. Toes up is a much deeper stretch in that front leg. So you pick as you find that stretch. Good. You will need to bring your toes down. Bend the knee slightly, bring the bricks forwards. They might be off the end of the mat as you extend and lift up with that back leg. Same sensation as in downward dog, even though it's the other leg now. Let it rotate, let it twist, let it open. You can stay long and forwards in your chest, or you can reach those hands in either side of your feet as you fold in against those legs. Standing leg split, keep reaching that back leg up. Your front leg, it might be bent, it might be straight, I don't care. Good. Land it back into your lunge. Bend that front knee, hands on floor or hands on bricks as you come back to lunge. And then step your way back to downward facing dog. Second side, that left leg raises. And then Lisa, you can You can do some just normal pelvic tilts forward and backwards when you've done your straight leg stuff. Good. Left leg, you're going to go from lunge into straight leg stretch, hands on the bricks. Pull those toes up if you have that space. Get that intense stretch through the backs of the legs. At least 3 breaths here. And then pick up those bricks and move them forwards and then lift that back leg up. Keep the chest forwards if that feels better, more stable for you, or fold in and over those legs. Lift that back leg. Go and get it up, 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 up. Well done. Land it back into lunge when you're ready. Take it back to downward dog. We're going to do it again. We've got a little addition to add in now. Yes. Remember, you can have all 4s instead of downward dog. So take that right leg up again. Open it to the side. Hold it to that side opening position. Bend your right knee like you're kicking your heel to your butt. Pull that knee back more. And then extend that knee. We're going to do 3 bend and opens of that knee. So extend it, bend it, hip forward, knee back, extend it, bend it, hip forward, knee back, extend it, hold it extended, turn those toes back towards the floor, and then bend that knee into the chest, step it forwards, lunge. Good. Grab your bricks, take your time. And then find that leg straight stretch, that pyramid stretch. Pull those toes up if you're going for the toes up sensation. Good. And then see if you can coordinate this. As you land your toes down, reach your blocks forward, lift your back leg up. Yes. We're going to do the same thing with that back leg that we did in downward facing dog. So you're going to bend the knee, see if you can find the balance. Hip forward, knee back as you bend and extend. Lift that foot higher each time you bend and extend that knee. Little ninja kicks, bend it, extend it, lift it higher. Yes, so don't let the knee pull in. Let the knee stay the same height. You just bend the knee, straighten the knee. Good, 3 of them, and then hold that standing leg splits. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Good, land it back to that high lunge position. Yes. Last side when you're ready. Take it back to downward facing dog. The left leg's going to raise. The left leg is going to rotate, open. Really get that leg as high as you can. You're in a twist. When you've reached that leg as high as you can, bend the knee. Knee goes back, hip pushes forward, and extend the knee with control. So you're trying to eke out a little more height each time you bend and extend that knee. Eke out a little more rotation. And then at that very height, that very peak there, rotate the hip back to center. The leg will drop. Step it, grab it, yank it, drag it forwards. Foot between the hands, find the bricks. If you need to pull those bricks back, extend that left leg straight. Find that stretch. If you're going further, lift those toes up. And then walk the bricks forward as you land the foot and raise that right leg into your standing leg splits. You can stay forward on the bricks. You can have the hands down. Keep that knee high as you bend that knee, extend that knee. Try and kick the leg that little higher each time you find that leg straight kick. We'll do 3 of those, then we'll hold. Good, good, good. Hold, 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 hold in that splits. Good. And then take it down. Lunge, dog. And then a child's pose, a release. Good. Come up, chill out, have a seat. I'm going to give you the nice 2 options here. So the nice option is to just spend a little moment on a bit of hip external rotation, where we're going to take our Baddha Konasana, and you can work on just drawing your legs down towards the floor. So just using the strength of your legs. I'm not using the push of my arms. So you can find your foot position and you can just work on drawing those knees down to the floor with strength. That's your choice 1. Your choice 2, if you're happy with that split pattern, is you're just going to explore something that's a little bit deeper. If you don't enjoy the split pattern, I want you to do this one because this works our splits anyway. So if you want to, I'll just show you one of these. So I'm going to have my blocks ready. I'm going to step the right foot forwards, and I'm going to find that lunge. Okay, so with the right toes, the left toe, sorry, tucking under, I'm going to squeeze that left bum, and I'm going to pick up and walk the left knee back. Tuck those toes, pick up and walk the left knee back. Tuck those toes, pick up and walk the left knee back. So I want to work this hip extension element, right? And when I've maxed out, absolutely maxed out that hip extension element, I could just stay here and chill, or I can caterpillar walk, those front toes forwards, okay? So if you're happy in that straight leg, I'm going to go blocks down. I'm going to tuck those back toes and walk that back knee back. I'm going to tuck those back toes and walk that back knee back. I'm going to tuck those back toes and walk that back knee back. So I walk into this from my back leg, okay? The thing that's going to stop you is your nervous system going, no, all right? So listen to it and stop at a point where you can maintain the control, okay? But we're going to go for walking, get to the max and hold the max for 30 seconds. Like we talked about last week, you might be contracted or relaxed. You might want to explore both, okay? But you're sort of like max level stretch, where the back leg is still working and you've walked your way there. Everyone's at a slightly different distance, so I want you to just time that around about 30 seconds. It'll be a torturous and fantastic 30 seconds. Yeah. And then you come out of it. Yes, good. And if you're just working these Baddha Konasanas, it's the same thing. We kind of hold for about 30 seconds in our effort, and then we can relax it. So Baddha Konasana crew, we're going to do it twice. And obviously Spitz crew, you're going to do one side. You're going to give it that time to recover. It's a big ask for your body. But it's the, sorry, had a little pause. It's the back leg that we're really interested in here, okay? So I know that we're all at different times, but just reset yourself back into that. Julie's dog, hello. Back into any way you want to get yourself out of it. You might want to come back via downward dog. It's really normal that we've got some differences side to side, okay? It's really normal. So don't force your not so mobile side more. Just sort of seek out that same level of sensation. Work it from the hip extension of the back leg, okay? So it's not important to get that front leg fully straight. But if it happens to get there, then you know, work it there. So when you get into that deeper stretch on the second side, just find your 30 seconds. And it's got to be that, manageable. Work that back hip more than the front. We work the front legs more the other week. Get that back leg, get that back leg. Yes. Oh. Your rest when you come out of this is anything you want it to be. A child's pose or a just a total collapse. Good. Good, 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 good. So when you come out and down, I want you to bring yourself down onto your back, and I want you to free up your legs. Obviously, Lise, you could sit on your ball, or you could sit on the floor with your ball against the wall and just do some little rolls against your ball side to side, which feels quite nice in your back. If you're down on your back, and you can sort of jiggle and shake those legs out and wiggle them up towards the ceiling. And then the crew that are on their back, you're going to place your left foot on the floor, and you're either going to cross your right ankle over your left knee, or you can have that right foot against the inside of that left leg somewhere. Okay, so it's a crossover or it's on the inside. And you can just start with some very gentle, small twists side to side, or you could rock all the way to bring your left knee and right sole of the foot to the floor, all the way to bring your right thigh to the floor. Just easing out the back of the bum. And then when you bring the knees back to center, the legs back to center, you could just pause here in this either sort of tree posy thing or this cross-legged thing, or if you want to, you can draw your left knee in towards your chest and just deepen the stretch on that right bum. Good. And let's switch sides, release. Left leg. Okay, just press against, or it can cross over. And just keep this movement small at first as you rock side to side. And you might only want to keep the movement small. It might feel good to take it a little bigger. And then when you do come back to center, you can just chill here, or you could add that slightly deeper stretch. Just be mindful of that left knee. And then just gently release out of that. Anything else you need to do before you come into Shavasana, do it. And decide on your best place, the best position for you to be in, and get yourself into that place. Connecting to your breath. Allowing the body to rest. And then keeping a sense of softness. Let your breath deepen as you take the time to draw the knees into the chest. And rolling over to whichever side you want to. And gently bringing yourself up to seated. Yeah, taking the palms together. Slow breath in. And slow breath out. Namaste. Thank you. Let me stop here. Hang on. Let me unplug.